How do you research if it is better to bundle or sell a single item? Great question, because we did this exact same thing with our business. Let's go over to Amazon for this one. I'm gonna share my screen again with you guys. Let's just do baby pajamas. So this is the process that we went through, and this is what I would go through. If you're trying to decide, hey, should I sell one? Should I sell a 2-pack? Should I sell a 3-pack, a 4-pack? I don't know how many I should bundle. Well, I don't know how to go about figuring that out. I would come over here to Amazon and I would start researching core keywords. So I would type in baby pajamas and I would see what comes up. I would see what on page 1 is coming up. And I'm only looking at units, right? Because we're just trying to decide how many I should sell in a bundle. Should I sell 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or however many? So right now I'm not really looking at anything other than how many units I'm seeing. So I'm seeing single, a 3-pack, but these are sponsored, so don't pay too much attention to that. As far as decision making, we want to see the organic results. So now once we're right here in organic results, now this is giving me a much better indication of the bundle quantity. 4-pack, 4-pack, 3-pack, 4-pack. And again, I personally would look at the title and be careful of looking at images, because images can be misleading sometimes. So if you just glance at the images, you might think, oh, that's a 4-pack. Yeah, and it is in this instance, but that's not the case in everything. So check the title for what it really is. So we got 4, 4, 3, 4. See this one, you can't tell. So I might click into it to see what it is for real. 3, that looks like 1. That's a top and pants. That's also 1, 2, 6, 3, 4. So just by a quick glance, I'm not even looking at numbers yet. This is just my first initial glance. I'm gathering data for, okay, what am I seeing most frequently? And for doing this for 30 seconds, I'd spend time on this. Like I'd spend an hour on this, but for the sake of doing this in 3 minutes, I'm seeing a lot of 3, 3, and 4. Those are like the most common I'm seeing. So right off the bat for this, a 3-pack and a 4-pack for me is right now the number one option. I have seen a few 6s, but that's not going to be my number one choice, because also I'm seeing the 6-piece is technically 3, but they're breaking it into a top and bottom. So it's a little misleading, I guess. But yeah, 3 or 4-pack. Okay. So I do that for multiple keywords. So I would search baby pajamas. I would search baby pajama. I would search whatever your core keywords are. There might be 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 kind of core keywords related to your product. Search them all. Search all of them. See what comes up for all of them, because those are all your main searches. Like for us, I would search dog bandanas, dog handkerchiefs, dog scarves. I would search all those different variations to see if the results are different. Now, the next thing I would do after this is I would go ahead and I would use Jungle Scout. So I'm loading the results. Now, what I would do is I would go ahead and load a bunch. Like I'm just going to keep clicking down here, load more, loading. I load 200, heck, 300 if I was super bored. And after I loaded a ton of results, I would export this. There we go. Got to get to stop thinking. Download the CSV, open this up in our good friend over here at Microsoft Excel so I can see all this a little bit better. And how nerdy you want to get from here is kind of up to you. You could manually go in and do like unit pack and type it in. Or like if you wanted to write a formula, there's formulas where you can like pull out the number that's shown in here. So if it includes a number, put it in this cell. I mean, that's getting a little fancy, but you could do it if you wanted to analyze. If you, let's say you had 300 rows of data, you could obviously do that a lot quicker. So use all your Excel's tricks, but I could just go down quickly and I'm just looking at, let me make this bigger for you guys. It's probably like microscopic on your screen. All I'm doing is I'm looking at the title and I'm just typing right here. I just made a new column. I'm just typing in how many units are in a pack. So I'm just going 4, 4, 3, maybe 1, or whoops, it's maybe 1. And I just go down this list. I could leave it blank if I was like unsure what it was because I didn't want to be wrong. And again, this isn't 100% accurate because like we saw, some of the packs, like a 6-pack, top and bottom, technically is more like a 3-pack because there's only 3 sets. But yeah, so I'd go through, I'd do this, I'd make a new column right here, and then I can start sorting. So I could add a little filter here to my Excel sheet. I'm gonna pull this a little bit smaller so we can see all the other data. And what I would do is I would filter. So what I'm interested right now is I'm trying to figure out how many units I should sell in my pack. So I want to know what sells the best. Like, what do people buy the most of? Do they buy 3-packs or they buy 4-packs? So I go through, I'd enter all this in, and I also want to look at monthly sales. So those are like the two big columns for me. And now, like, the world is your oyster. You can start running averages and stuff. So I could sort this by unit pack. So I'm only looking at, or I'm looking at them in order, or I could only look at certain ones. Like, let's only look at 3-packs right now. And I want to know what the like average monthly sales is. And I could look at average price too. This is kind of like what you do on the pricing worksheet anyway for pricing, but I could go like average. I would probably, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I would probably put this onto a new page if I'm going to run a formula, because I don't want to jack up my table. But I could say like, okay, what's the average equals average. And if you don't have Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets will do all this for free with your Gmail account. Okay. And that's also not a dollar. That's just a unit. So there you go. I can see right now, I don't want decimals. I can see right now that on average so far, I mean, again, this is the very quick version, that my 3-packs are selling for an average price of $26, and on average they're selling 10,000 units a month. I'd also probably want to throw in reviews. That's important to understand, as far as, because this volume is insane. Like, I guarantee all these ones have tons of reviews, which is why, folks, I would load a ton of 200, 300. In this one, I only loaded 104, and I literally only did the first 15 rows, which are the top sellers probably. So keep that in mind when you're seeing crazy numbers like this. But again, I throw in the average and I could see, okay, on average, this is how my 3-packs are doing. I'd do a new sheet for 4-packs. So let's only look at 4-packs, and we'll do the exact same thing. Copy, same dealio, average, see what the data is showing me. And what I'm really concerned about, like I said, is price. I'm not so worried about for this at this moment. I want to know what sells the most, like units. What are people ordering a lot of? So from my very small sample size, I would definitely not make a decision off what I've done in 5 minutes here. But what I'm seeing is that on average, my 3-packs are selling 10,000 units a month for $26. My 4-packs are selling 9,000 units a month for $19. So the 3-packs are selling for a higher price. Again, we're only looking at a very small, and these are like pretty much all the same brand. Very small sample size. We did this really quickly, but like, this is a process I would go through. And then I could see like, okay, based on my research, 3-packs are selling the best. So that's the direction I want to head. However, keep in mind that there's also the intangible aspect of this. So this is what's showing us what is currently doing well, but going off the whole philosophy of high risk, high reward, if you really want to like be different and take the risk, you might have a risk of not selling as many, but you might also have a risk of selling more. You could go against the norm. That's the high risk, high reward strategy, but you don't have to do that. So like, for example, let's say, hey, I see here that 3-packs of baby pajamas are selling really well, 3-packs and 4-packs, but I have a great idea for a 5-pack, and I don't see any 5-packs on here. But again, that's high risk, high reward. I actually just had a conversation with one of you guys. I don't know if you're on the call actually, but one of you guys in my program right now, I had a conversation yesterday with you via our emails about this, saying, well, how do I know if I should sell a 5-pack? Like, if I don't see anyone else selling a 5-pack, is that a red flag? It's really hard to know that, because maybe they've tried a 5-pack and it didn't work out, or maybe they're doing exactly what we just did and they're seeing that 4-packs sell the best. So let's go ahead and put out a 4-pack. So they're not taking the risk. They're taking the safer route, which is totally fine. But again, you really don't have a really, really strong way of knowing that. That's kind of, like I said, you got to go off the intangibles and really think, does this really make sense? Like, am I selling a 7-pack of pajamas just because I want to be different? Or does that really make sense that people really want a 7-pack? 7-pack of pajamas sounds a little bit ridiculous to me personally. It'd be hard to justify you liking all 7 designs and wanting to pay for that. But with other products, it could be totally different, right? I have tons of students who sell bundles of stuff. And yeah, that's kind of like the process you have to go through, is really think, how many do I want to bundle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I want to do what the most popular is, or do I want to go a little bit above, maybe a little bit below the norm? Take a little bit riskier road, but with the potential for a higher reward because I'm being unique and different. Ask. Like, ask people. Post it on Instagram. Ask your friends, ask your family, ask people who would buy this product. Hey, are you more likely to buy a 4-pack or a 7-pack of baby pajamas? I'd much rather buy a 4-pack. Okay. What about a 4-pack or a 5-pack? I'd still probably buy a 4-pack. Then go ask someone else and ask someone else and ask someone else and ask someone else. Like, you gotta kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit too, and not like hold these ideas so tight that like, I'm scared to share them with people. Like, they're going to judge me, or like they're going to take my idea. Like, you got to get out of that mindset. If you really want to develop a product that people want, you have to ask. Spend a ton of time asking people what they would want. Don't think that you assume you might know what they want, even if you have experience. Like, we have dogs, we have experiences with dogs and dog products and dog bandanas, yet we still ask people, and we'll be surprised sometimes. We run polls on Instagram all the time about stuff, and sometimes it shocks us that like, wow, our followers have a much different idea of what they want than what we think they want, and then make adjustments. So